Okay, are you currently using the scripting feature in AccuZIP 6 5.0? We're going to close the poll in just a moment. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the results. This is good. So you're in the right room. And 68% of you have not or not using it. After today, I guarantee you, your mind will change. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and show you the results. 68% no, 32% yes. Excellent. Okay, so let's get busy. I'm going to go ahead and hide the results. Everybody should be able to see my screen now. What is scripting? Okay, scripting it's a set of steps, what we call events, that are saved that perform one or several functions to complete a task, or what we call a job, from start to finish. You can create a script that runs from start to finish with no user interaction. You can also create a script that runs semi-automatic and pauses for additional user input. Like, for example, if you wanted the Presort window to pause while you made a few setting changes specific to that job, like the weight of the piece or something like that, you could have the Presort window stop, pause for input, and then continue. You can also create scripts to follow company policy, for the way that all of your customer files are processed. For example, most of you, when you get customer files in, most of you CAS certify them. Most of you remove duplicates and pre-sort. So there's sets of steps that you do, common steps that you can set up in the script. And you can create an unlimited number of scripts. Scripts also allow the owner or manager or IT person, for example, to set the AccuZIP 6 software, the 5.0 software, to perform specific processes so that anyone else can perform the necessary steps to complete the job, even if the normal mailroom person is not there. So how often are you the one that knows AccuZIP inside and out, and then you get sick, or you leave for a week to go on vacation, and no one else in the building knows how to run the software? Scripting will solve that. You're going to learn how to create scripts. Scripts are invaluable, and it'll save you time, many hours, and headaches when processing repeated jobs for your customers. So we're going to start with scripting basics. The first thing you need to do is think of the logical steps that you need to take to perform or complete a customer's job. So before creating a script, before actually going through and creating your script, you always want to process the customer files manually first. And during the manual process, you're going to go ahead and create save settings. You're going to see things that you may want to do extra that are not part of the normal process. So you're going to go ahead and perform the general steps to complete the job. So the first step that you normally do would be to pull down File to Open List. So we're going to start there. We're going to go ahead and work with a file. I've created a sample file and click Select Input File. Our sample file today is sample number 3, right here in the sample 3 folder. So we're going to go ahead and click OK to open it. AccuZIP automatically recognizes the type of file, and it shows the very first record in the file, which happens to be a header record in this case. So the first thing we want to do in working with files that have header records is check the Use Header box. AccuZIP automatically maps the fields, as you're all familiar with. Now the nice thing about this, if you think about it, you could have a file with 100 fields or a file with 200 fields. And as long as that file has a header record, AccuZIP will automatically map all of the pertinent fields, and any field it doesn't understand, it will create the field using the name of the field in the header. Now that makes AccuZIP very robust because it really doesn't matter what type of file you're bringing in or what order the fields are in, whether the first name is first or the last name is first or the zip code is first, because once you've checked use header, the software will automatically map the fields. You don't have to have a predefined structure, so that's nice. So once we've checked use header, I'm going to go ahead and click import. So what we're doing is we're processing the file through the normal processes that we would do for anybody, like a general file. Okay? So the files come in. The next step would be to optimize the list. Under Special, I'm going to choose Optimize. Now you don't have to optimize. I'm just, for our demo purposes here, I'm going to do quite a bit to the file to show you the power of the scripting feature, so you're not limited to just a few steps and a few features in AccuZIP. You have nearly all of the features, all of the menu items that you can add to a script. So when optimizing a list, I'm going to go ahead and select all of the options. I'm going to click Auto Close, click Optimize. This file has 44,685 records, and I'm running on a Windows Vista machine. Now we're ready to validate the list. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the Validate Records button. And I'm going to go ahead and I've selected all of the output format. So naturally, when the file first came in, it only had a few fields. All I do is check the boxes, and as you know, AccuZIP automatically adds all of the additional fields necessary to populate it with these values. I'm also adding NCOA to this file and choosing the list owner. I'm going to select Auto Close, and at this point I want to save these settings, and I'm just going to give them a name standard. Excuse me, let's just call this My Validate Settings. Perfect. So at any time we can recall this. Remember, the whole purpose of working with a file initially is to create saved settings along the way. The settings may be specific to your customer or may be general, depending on what type of script you're going to create. So I'm going to go ahead and click Validate. So the software adds all of the missing fields, and now it's going to go through and validate for us all 44,000 records and process them through NCOA. It'll just take a few moments. Now, as AccuZIP is CAS certifying, it is caching addresses in memory. So as the process continues and the information becomes more local, as you can see, the process will speed up. And if you haven't already, I encourage you all to visit AccuZIP.com, click on the AccuZIP forum, and when you click on the forum, there's a link for DPV. And when you click on DPV, there's also a link that shows you how to significantly speed up CAS certification. In this case, we're processing nearly 600 plus records per second at a blazing speed of 2.4 million records per hour. So once the CAS process is finished, the file will be uploaded to the server where the NCOA process will occur. And for those of you who use the NCOA feature, you'll be glad to know that we just had AT&T installed Combined T1. We have so your upload and download will be at 4.5 versus 1.5. And we'll be soon sending out updates, not over the weekend, but most likely Monday, once we get the, and it'll be a new IP address as well. So your upload and download speeds will be significantly faster. Right now they're T1 speed. Soon it'll be the equivalent of 3 T1s, 4.5. Okay, so that process is finished. It roughly took about 20 seconds to process 44,000 records through the NCOA process. So now our databases come back with all of our moves, they're CAS certified, all that good stuff. So the next logical step that I would like to do to the list is generate some reports for my customer. Right? So we're going to go ahead and pull down the file menu down to print and over to report. And then I would like to add several reports that are just standard reports that I'm going to give to all of my customers. Now remember, if you attended the label and report design, then all of you know how to add your logo or your website address, your full color logo, high-res logo to all of our reports. If you haven't and you missed it, go to our website to the webinars page and you can download it and watch the webinar that we had about 3 weeks ago. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to choose a few reports here, and we have several. I'm going to start with a new report we created called eCAS. That gives you an extremely detailed view of your CAS results. Then I'm going to throw in count on state. Now remember, these reports may seem meaningless, but actually when you provide a service for your customers, the more information that you can give to them, the better you look. We're going to do count on city. It just means it shows your customer that you're going the extra mile for them, and these reports are very simple to create. I'm going to go ahead and choose NCOALink with A and K because I actually processed it. So I'm going to choose NCOALink, A and K link, count on NCOA. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit here. We'll add that report, and then we're going to add the NCOALink certificate year to date. And then the last report I'm going to add is the NCOALink A and K move by recency report. This is a cool report. Let's come up here and choose that one and add it. So now that I have all of the reports that I want to print, I'm going to go ahead and save the list of reports. Let's go ahead and give those a name. We're going to call them My Standard Report Set and click Save. So it's just saving the group of reports that we're printing, and I want them all to go to a PDF document, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit print. So the software now is generating a PDF document that is bookmarked, and the bookmarks will be the name of the report. So if you create custom reports for yourself, then whatever name you gave the report will be the name of the bookmark. It makes it very convenient, so when you sit here and you email your customer the reports, they can just simply open it and go right to the report that they wanted. And people just love to have information, even if they don't use it. They like to have it. And it shows that you've done some work on their list. Now, you may charge for this service on generating these comprehensive reports. If any of you need custom reports and you're unfamiliar with generating them, just give us a call. That's what we're here for. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and view the reports that just printed, just briefly. We can continue, just so we can see the results when the script is done. So the reports are always named the same as the database, and then at the end we put ereports.pdf. So I'm going to go ahead and open the report. Okay, so here's the very first report, which is the enhanced cash report. If some of you don't have this report in AccuZIP, we provided it in our last update, then just send us an email to support@accuzip.com and we will email you this report. It's a new report. So it gives you a lot of good information. It gives you counts on each of the error or warning codes. Okay? And then we have our count by state and so on. Then we have our move by recency reports that show you the month and the year and all the counts. So you can go through here and select all of them. I just wanted to show you that the report does exist, and we're going to go ahead and close it for time because we've got a lot to cover. Okay, so we're going to come back to the database, and again, remember, most of you know you've done this a million times what we're doing right now, but the most important thing is that you do work through the process first. So the next item we're going to do is go ahead and find duplicates. By person, we're going to do the priority as keeping the original record. We're going to go ahead and review the duplicates. And then I'm going to go ahead and click Start. Now, once this process is completed, we'll be able to review the duplicates just to make sure if there's anything I need to tweak. At this point, I could select different options or whatever. All right, so here's our duplicate review. I'm going to go ahead and show up some of the fields. Now, I want you all to know that our software automatically finds records that are AKA matches. So, for example, Bill and William both live at the same address. This, to AccuZIP, is an identical match because of the AKA abilities inside of our duplicate detections. It makes it very powerful. I also want to show you over here that the original address, so for William, for example, was at 212 Quail, and here it was 164 Lancaster. Same here. So there were two lists possibly imported into this database, one with his old address and one with his new address. Through the NCOA process, so if you don't have NCOA, highly recommend getting it. Remember, it's for the move update compliance as well, effective November 23rd. And if any of you process your list only for yourself, that means that you're like a periodical mailer, or if you process lists only for yourself, you don't provide as service, then you can get the NCOA feature free of charge as part of your normal AccuZIP6 subscription. And there's detailed information on our website for that. Otherwise, you can get unlimited access to the NCOA, and again, there's more information on our website, or you're more than welcome to call sales. So, using the deduping feature and the NCOA feature, we found duplicates we otherwise would not find. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and update the database. It's going to flag those records as duplicates. The next step I want to do is, when I do the mailing, I want to mail only to records that have a deliverable address where the DPV has confirmed the entire address. So I'm choosing that here. Now notice over here we see the new address and the old address. We're going to scroll over a little bit. And I want you to notice that some of these people have moved, so where we have their new address. But then, because we use the ANK, which is enhancing the NCOA 0 to 18 month matching, ANK goes all the way from 19 to 48 months matching, and that is represented by the number 77. So this indicates that this did move between 19 months and 48 months, but because it's ANK, we're simply letting you know that they moved, but we do not give you the new address. So this address, as you can see, is the same as the original. But now you have a lot more information than you did have. Naturally, if it was a move and it's not an ANK match, that means the move was done within 18 months. We do give you the new address, as you can see here. All right, so if you enhance your NCOA service, you'll get a lot more matches. Like in this case, we got about 1,200 more matches. So as a normal process for doing a customer's list, I don't want to include typically any records that matched on an ANK. That's because I know for a fact that this is no longer there. This company or name is no longer at this address. So what I'm going to do now is create a search editor that gives me all of the records that are DPV confirmed with a Y indicator as the first position in the DPV field, and where the ANK field is empty. So I'm going to pull down Select, down to Search Editor, and create a DPV begins with these values, Y, ANK is an empty field. I'm going to clear the marked records, mark the result, and close the window. So I'm going to click Search. I'm going to go back to that window because what I didn't do was I didn't save the setting. So now that I'm in here, I'm going to go ahead and save this setting as confirmed and not ANK. Now we'll go ahead and do the search. So the whole idea about processing it manually is along the way you're saving your settings. So we're good here. Now the next step I'm going to do is pull down sort to pre-sort mail. So now I have a 100% deliverable addresses that are confirmed. The entire address is confirmed. All the moves are in there. Now we're ready to pre-sort it. We just saved postage on over 2,000 records. Later, if we wanted to, we could give the customer a second list, maybe in Microsoft Excel, and let them have the list of records that we didn't mail, so they could correct them at some point. And again, this is just the way I'm setting this up. You don't have to do these steps. You may have your own steps. So I'm going to set this up as a standard profit letter size. Now, if you don't know what size it is, you can just simply click on the calculator, as you all know. You type in the piece dimensions and the weight, and then you click OK. It determined that the piece was machinable and can be barcoded, so you elect if you want to do that or not. And then you can, in this case, we're not doing any records that are not ZIP+4 coded, but if you had both, you could limit the scope to only records that were ZIP+4 and barcoded by not checking this box. You type in your zip code for your post office. It fills all that information in. We're going to call this pre-sort folder. Everything's going to go in the pre-sort folder. And I'm going to give this setting a name. And let's just call this standard mail letters 1 ounce or less. So we can come back here and select it at any point. So I'm going to go ahead and click pre-sort. So the software is going to go ahead and pre-sort the 42,000 records and then give us the print pre-sort window. Now from the print pre-sort window, I want to go ahead and print our container tags. I want to print both the summary and the tags themselves. I want to also create a PDF document. Go ahead and click print. And then again, you can give it any message. You guys know this. We're learning the scripting feature today, so I just want to kind of work through the list like you would. Then I'm going to go ahead and print reports. We're going to print the qualification report, the mailing statement, the cash certificate. You could print some drop ship forms if you want. We're going to go ahead and do this. Now the reason we work through it manually, not only to save our settings, but to check our results. So when we're all completely done, we want to make sure that the results are good. And then once we build the script, then we go ahead and run the script and we compare the results of the script to make sure that both are identical. Then we know we have a good solid script. Okay, after we're done here, the customer would like us to always give them the file as a disk file. So we're going to click Labels. And we're going to go ahead and choose disk file instead of printing labels. We're going to go ahead and click Continue. And then AccuZIP maintains the order of the fields that you originally brought in. So as you can see, we have first name, or middle name, last name, address, city, state, and zip. I'm also going to give the customer the barcode field. I'm going to also give them maybe a sequence number. So all of these fields were added to your database automatically. You didn't have to stop and modify the structure and add these fields manually. All of them were added with the correct field types for you automatically. So we're going to go ahead and do the sequence number as well. I'm going to include the container ID, which is the container number. Let's go ahead and choose the group ID, just in case there was individual groups within the trays. Remember, the packaging is prohibited unless the tray is less than full. We'll go ahead and include the endorsement. The customer said they also want the tray mark, and in this case, you could output a package mark if you want, but I'm just going to output a rate code. So it'll describe whether it's a 5-digit qualified, 3-digit qualified. And you could have the software add actually more pre-sort output fields, and that will explain in a more advanced class later this year that we'll be having another webinar on advanced AccuZIP. And there's a lot of features that you probably are not aware of that exist that you can do and things you can do with AccuZIP. We'd love to show you this stuff, so we're very excited. So let's go ahead and move on. We're going to go to select the output format, and the customer would like an Excel output, so we'll choose that. We'll go ahead and hit save, and we're going to save this as my standard output format. So this is the name of the export map. And at this point, we're going to go ahead and hit export, and we're going to save this document back into the same folder. And we're going to call it sample clean.xls. So it goes ahead and dumps it. Nearly 42,000 records. We're going to go ahead and click OK. And we're done. So that's the entire manual process. Now we're going to create a script that does all of that for us with one click of our mouse. So if we go back in the sample folder, you can see that the sample clean.xls was created. If we double click on the sample, remember you want to compare your results with the results after the script is finished. So here's your results, all in pre-sort order. I'll go ahead and close this. Alrighty. So now we're going to learn how to create a script with one click of your mouse. I'm going to go ahead and close this, and actually we're going to do another poll question. Let's see how many of you, so let me move this over, give me a moment. Alrighty. Okay, so let's go ahead and ask our next poll question. If you wouldn't mind, just take a moment and answer those. Okay, this one is, are you aware of the new USPS move requirements effective November 23rd, 2008? I hope you are. All right, we're going to close the poll here in a moment, so go ahead and get your answers in, please. Almost everybody's answered, and I really appreciate you guys attending the webinar and taking the time out of your day. Okay, we have almost everybody in. We're going to go ahead and close the poll and show the results. Excellent. 74% of you are aware of it. Now our next question. Of those who answered yes, the 74%, as of today, are you compliant? And if you're not, AccuZIP gives you many ways to become compliant, and there's no cost. Otherwise, we have the unlimited option at a very, very fair price. All right, as of today, are you compliant? Take a moment. We're almost through. And then it's going to get exciting. We're going to actually build the script so that when it's going to do all of those steps for us with one click. Okay, everybody, go ahead and finish up on the questions. I'm going to go ahead and close the poll. Here we go. Closed. Okay, 60% of you are compliant today, 40% are not. If you need additional information, just, again, give us a call or visit our website, and it will help you determine how to become compliant so you can continue to mail barcoded standard mail and first-class mail and get the discounts. It's very, very important that you become compliant. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and show the results of that. Take a moment to look at it. And we'll go ahead and get on to the next. We're going to start building scripts now. This is fun. Alrighty. So to build a script, you have to close all of your open windows and databases. Because during the script process, if you open one that's already in use, then you're going to get a message that tells you it's already in use. This is why we have a clean slate. So under Special, you choose Script. and the script window opens. So I want to briefly explain the script window. I'm going to go ahead and delete this script. Okay, the first button here is creating a new script. This is the Run Script button. Then we have editing or modifying the script. Of course, deleting the script. This would allow you to view the script text. All of our scripts are clear text. All of them can be modified programmably. So if you don't want to create the script through a GUI, through our interface, you can create the scripts through your own interface, through your own programming interface. And then our software will follow the steps that you put in there. You just drop it in our folder and it runs it. This allows you to set up a watch folder, which will be going into the next time. That is our advanced scripting class, and that will show you how to take all of the scripts that you've written and you can have them watch an unlimited number of folders. So as files are dropped in there by your customers, let's say you've set up a secured FTP like using ServU, the program, so your customers can actually upload files to your server. As soon as they upload the files, our software sees those through the hot folder, and then based on the name of the file or however you set up the script to determine which script it's going to use to run, it'll run automatically 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you can set it up so where there is no user interaction, period. So you do the legwork up front and set up your general scripts. Maybe the script does the CAS and the NCOA. So when you come in the morning, at least you got all that done. And then you can proceed from there. This button allows you to set up designated times that you want things to begin. Like, Monday through Saturday, you want the script to monitor from 8 to 5, or Saturday through Sunday, you can set it up there. This allows you to copy an existing script and give it a new name, so you can make changes to the copied version. This refreshes the window, so if you are monitoring folders, it shows you how many files that it recognizes through your settings exist. This is the Start Monitoring button, so in our advanced class, when you click it, it'll begin monitoring. This is the Help button that'll explain what all these features do, and of course, this closes the window. Okay, so the first thing we want to do, the very first thing is we want to set up the script, all the events that we're going to do on the script. So what we're going to do is, remember, I'm going to open up a PowerPoint presentation just so you can see here. Okay, the first thing we want to do in the script window is add all of the events to the script first. Then we're going to go back and tell it what to do on each one of those events. Now remember, the event is the item that we did, like open list, validate records, pre-sort mail. That's the event. Then we go and describe what we want the event to do. So the first thing we're going to do, and this is as a recap, is file open list. Then special optimize database, special validate records. Special is the menu. Then we're going to print the comprehensive reports, find duplicates. We're going to perform the search editor. We're going to pre-sort our mail, print our container tags, print our reports for the post office. We're going to export the data, and then we're going to go back and define each event through a very, very simple interface. Okay, so let me go ahead and close this window. Now we're back to the script window. Okay, so our first step is to create a brand new script. So I'm clicking New, and it defaults to this name, which is the date and time. So I'm going to change the name of this script. Let's go ahead and choose any name. Let's just call it, give me a moment here, Company Standard Processes. Okay, so that's the name of the script. And then I'm going to click on the Edit button. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now, give me a moment here, if you can, script commands, yes. Okay, so a customer has asked if you can add commands to the script or have script commands, like, for example, through your own interface, through your own programming, launch the software, launch AccuZIP6 and have it run a script? Absolutely yes. And matter of fact, on our forum, on our website, AccuZIP.com, just go to our forum and you can search for script, and it'll show you in there, document how you open the software through your own interface and have it run. But I tell you, after you learn the scripting advanced one, then you're not going to even want to bother, because you just let the software sit on a server somewhere and forget about it. Because you've already done all the legwork, you've told it what files to look for and what scripts to run. That's our advanced setting. We'll get through that the next time. Just look at our webinar page for that date. Okay, so the first thing we want to do, of course, is File. So these items along the top here are all the menu items along the top up here. Okay? When we choose File, these are all the menu items below the menu. So the first thing we want to do is choose Open List. And remember, our only function right now is to add the events to the script. We're not going to define what they're doing yet. So after we open the list, this way our thought of, process is very clear. We don't have to get fogged up with, what setting are we going to use? We're just setting up the list of steps. We're going to optimize the database. Now the cool thing about this is, if you're thinking about it, is that let's say you're the person that controls everything and you process all your lists all the time. You could create a script with a set of steps, step 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down, so that anybody can do it. It just simply prompts you on every single screen for somebody that doesn't know what step to do next. So this can save you a lot of headaches too. So now we're going to go ahead and add under File, Print Reports. Remember, after Validate, so we got Optimize, we got Validate. Then we're going to go ahead and find duplicates. So under Select, we're going to show duplicates. And then after our duplicates, remember we wanted to do our Select, and then we wanted to use the Search Editor. And then we're going to go ahead and pre-sort the list. And then we're going to print the container tags, pre-sort. And we're going to print the postal documentation. And then finally, we're going to go ahead and export the list to Excel. Now, we could add a exit to the end, so when it's all finished, it exits. And that's really important, especially if you're launching the software from your own application, that when it's completely done, you want it to exit out of the software. Now, there's other things you can do, and again, that'll be in the advanced class, where you can add commands within this. You could actually write logs. You could have the software write something to a designated folder that tells you it's done, so you know when to begin your processes after. So there's a lot of things you can do. Virtually anything you can dream of, AccuZIP can do with data. All you have to do is come into our live chat and ask. Alrighty, so now we've defined the events. Now we go back up, we just clarify this: open list, optimize, validate, print, preview, all the way down. Everything looks good. Now we start at the top here and we define what we want this event to do. So we just simply double click on the event. And it brings up the open setup window. So now we go ahead and define. Remember, we already did the steps, so now we're going to go ahead and just do them again through here. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the sample file. And before I continue, what I'm going to do is delete all of these files, or maybe even archive them so I can compare them later. Maybe create manual, just call it manual process right here. And then I can drag all the files in there. So now I have my original set. There are many programs out there that you can use to compare the different results from the same file so you can see if there's any changes. It's always good to double check. So we're going to come back here. Again, we're going to choose Use Header. And then this Auto checkbox. If we check it, the software will automatically open this file, automatically map it using Use Header, and automatically import it. So we're going to go ahead and save it. So that's done. We double click on Optimize. We go ahead and set it up and save. We go to Validate Records. We've already created a save setting, so we select it. We choose Auto Run. Now, if we don't choose Auto Run and we click Save, it's going to prompt us. It's going to say, would you like the auto run box checked. Click yes to force the software to run this event without user interaction. Otherwise, you'll be prompted before the process continues. So I'm going to go ahead and click yes. And then the NCOA window briefly appears. So we could uncheck that we don't want any interaction. So we would uncheck the fact that we don't want it to prompt us with the results of the moves. Then we go to print reports. And here, remember we saved our reports. So I'm going to go ahead and load them right here. So it loads in that group of reports that I selected to print for our customers, and we're going to do it for all of them as well. And we're going to go ahead and create our PDF document, and I'm going to choose Auto Run, and I'm going to click Save. Show duplicates. I don't want to review them naturally because I want to make this an automated process. I'm going to click Auto Run. I'm going to click Start. I'm going to double click on the search editor, and I'm going to load my saved settings. So I can clear all my saved settings, reset it here. I don't want to delete the search filter that's on the disk, but I'm going to open it now. I just did that to show you that it will load it back in. There you go. And I'm going to go ahead and clear the marked and mark the result, close the window and auto run, and click Save. Pretty simple. Now on the Presort event, double click on it. I'm going to choose the save setting called Standard Mail Letters, 1 ounce or less. It loads all of the settings back in for me. I'm going to choose Auto Run. And then I'm going to click Save. I'm going to double click on the print tags. I'm going to print all of the tags. I'm going to print to a PDF and auto run. Save. Double click on the print Presort reports. I want to print the qualification report, the cast certificate, the parameter report, which prints a picture of the Presort window for you. Auto run, create PDF. And then I'm going to go to the export, and I'm going to choose the save setting here, my standard output format, which loads in the Excel output format. I'm going to choose auto run, and I'm going to choose save. And now it's asking me where I want the clean file done, so I'm just going to call it sample clean, just like I did before. And now I'm going to click save. My friends, our script is completed. So if you have been using AccuZIP for some time, I'm sure all of you have created many save settings. Some of you have been using the product for almost 17 years, so you probably have hundreds of save settings. So I still encourage you to process through the file manually, even if you already have the settings saved, just so you can compare the results with the results of the script. You don't have to, but that's the way I would do it. This is so exciting. All right, so now what I'm going to do is click Save. And that's it. This checkbox, by the way, is for the advanced class. When it's checked, it will be part of the monitoring process. So we can have this script, when it's monitoring, be included, and that's going to be in our advanced class. So now it's simple. To run this script, we just simply click Run. Sit back, and let's watch it. So now it's going through. It opened the 44,000 records. It optimized the list. Now it's going through and cast certifying the list for me. Naturally, the speed is faster because the information is in memory. Remember, we cache as much as we can. So if you have memory, 2 gigabytes, 4 gigabytes, we do cache it. So files that are within the same zip code area will code much faster the second, and third, and fourth time. Now, some of you have probably fallen out of your seat because this to me is exciting, very exciting. When we can make products and features and for our customers to make them more profitable, that's exciting to me. And by the way, this scripting feature is free. You all have it. Other companies charge $800 and above for this same feature. And for the advanced class, when we show you the advanced class for the script monitor, I believe there's only one other company that makes it, and they charge $3,000 for the script monitor feature. It's included free with AccuZIP. So there it goes. It ran it through an NCOA process in about 20 seconds on 44,000 records. Now it's generating all of our custom reports. And again, you can create all the custom reports you want. And if you missed it, go to our website and you can grab that label and report designer. That webinar is really invaluable. If you haven't seen it, you got to go download it, watch it over the weekend. It shows you how to do variable data printing, where AccuZIP can grab data from multiple sources, including Google Maps and you know, adding in pictures and website addresses, all from different sources, and bringing them all into one document. It's all included in AccuZIP. As you know, you can do all of that now. Okay, so it's going through the show duplicates. See, the nice thing about this, we did so many steps. We did 10 steps here with a lot going on. So if you got sick or weren't there or wanted to go on vacation, to leave someone else to do this for you, you'd have to have written instructions. So instead of having written instructions, go ahead and create a script. It's simple. Okay, so the pre-sort is almost completed, and then the documentation will be printed. There's our container tag summary and our mailing statement. And if you don't know, AccuZIP does support multiple drop shipment, part of AccuZIP Free. And the last step will be to export the data. And once that's finished, it'll tell us it's complete. Now, naturally, if you have the exit clause in there, it wouldn't tell you this. It would just exit. So we're not asking it to leave the product, so there you go. So our process is done, and we only clicked one button. I can't hear any of you clapping, so hopefully you guys are also listening. No, you are. I see you all. All right, so let's go to the sample folder. Here is our pre-sort. Here is our documentation. So let's go ahead and open up our tags. There they are. Go ahead and open up our postal documentation. There it is, completely done. There's our CAST certificate. And finally, our pre-sort parameter report. We'll go back to the sample folder, and there is our clean Excel document. Here's our sample reports. So we could go and compare the manual results with our automated results. We'll go back here and open the sample Excel document now. And I'm just going through these quickly just to show you that the results were created for you and they're created accurately. There's your barcode information. There's your sequence number, there's your container ID, your group ID, your endorsement, what rate was applied to each piece, your tray mark. So you've got a lot of good stuff. Now, I really, really am interested in everybody answering this question. It means more to me than anything. Here we go. This is our last poll question. Are you ready? Which AccuZIP6 5.0 technical support method do you use most often? And this one I'm going to be very, very interested to see the results of. So take a moment, please, and turn around and click one of those answers. I am shocked. Unbelievable. Wait until you see the results. Keep answering. We're almost at 90% now. Keep going. Some of you are sleeping. All right, we're almost done. We're going to close the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and poll closed. Are you ready for the results? If you're using phone support, why? It's free, but why use it? You might as well come into our live chat room because it's documented. Everything we answer is documented, and we'll refer you to, it's live. You come in there between 7 and 4, just like you'd call between 7 and 4. Naturally, when you call, you get a live human being. We don't have the voicemails. We're not ever going to have the voicemails as long as I'm president. You're always going to have someone answer the phone. But why use phone support? I can see the email support because you get it documented, but I encourage more and more of you to use the live chat. Just go to our website, AccuZIP.com, click on the support link at the top, and it's the very first item, chat, live chat. Click it, and you're immediately speaking with a technical support person, and you're on there, and it's documented. You can print it. You can print a transcript of it, so you don't have to remember it when you hang up. All right, well, thank you for answering that question. I'm going to go ahead and hide the results now. And I'm going to go ahead and open up. Just bear with me one more moment. Really appreciate you guys sticking around. Boy, it'd be nice to meet every one of you, I tell you. We go to these trade shows and we meet a lot of our customers, and it's very rewarding to see the smiles and stuff like that. If you ever have a problem with AccuZIP, make sure you let us know. It's very important to us. Okay, one thing before you go. When you click on the support link here, you're going to see all of the different support options. This is the one I'm referring to. You just simply click live chat and you click start chat. And before you leave today, for those who said no, go in there and check it out. Just say hello and then leave. Just to show you how simple it is to talk with a support person. I encourage you to do that. If we go back to our home page, we sent out a brochure that I hope all of you read. Right here, referral program. Just so you know, if you never want to pay for an annual renewal again for AccuZIP, ever, then all you have to do is refer a friend. Refer another business to AccuZIP. If that company purchases the AccuZIP6 software, you will automatically receive the standard edition of AccuZIP6, which is $995 value, free. So when your subscription comes up for renewal, instead of paying us $995 for your renewal, refer someone to us. If that person buys it, you get the product free for another year. So you'll never pay for another renewal. It's a great program. We encourage all of you to use it. If you have some nice things to say about AccuZIP, we post them here on our testimonials page, and we've got, if you go in here, there's probably almost 100. And these are just unsolicited. You just come in here. If you have some nice things to say, please say them. We all appreciate it. It lifts our spirits. I'm going to go ahead and close everything here. Come back. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you all coming. Kristen, do you have anything to add? And we will do more in the future. Please go to our webinar page to look for future webinars. It just gets better from here, folks. Thank you. Everybody have a great weekend. Really appreciate you attending this one. This one was our most attended so far. Thank you. Okay.